Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the most up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. We're going to get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are moving higher this morning with S&P futures up 0.49%, Dow futures up 0.55%, and NASDAQ futures up 0.58%. S&P futures have begun to regain some momentum with Tesla up in pre-market and First Solar climbing higher as the U.S. said it was on a verge of barring some solar products made in China's Xinjiang region. The dollar, along with yields on 10-year treasuries, have remained steady, and oil has held gains above $73 a barrel. Things to note from the Fed. Dallas Fed President Robert Kaplan has warranted a rate hike next year, while Atlanta Fed President Bostic said that the Fed could decide to slow asset purchasing in the next few months. Meanwhile, the Department of the Treasury may exhaust emergency measures to avoid breaching the U.S. debt limit as soon as August, unless Congress acts to avert a potential default. Over in Europe, equities rebounded, boosted by traveler and banking shares. And over in Asia, specifically Asian Pacific equities, traded slightly higher with gains in Hong Kong, South Korea, and India. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
Well, listen, I'm positive. The market looks really good this morning. You see the S&Ps are up. They've been climbing all morning long, so that's a nice start to the day. Prior to the opening today, we have multiple key economic reports that are going to be released. I'm talking jobless claims, the GDP report. These types of reports are going to offer fresh indications on the pace of the economic recovery. Additionally, Biden is supposed to be meeting with a number of lawmakers today, and they're going to look to finalize the infrastructure bill. It looks like it's going to be $1 trillion, not the $6 trillion, but anything is better than nothing. So, this bill is likely to see the light of day. Also important to note, the Federal Reserve later today, after the close, they're going to be releasing their latest results on the stress test for the 6 big banks. They're all expected to pass, but we'll have to wait and see. The reason why this is important because it paves the way for increased dividends and share buybacks. Later today, we got earnings coming out from Nike. We got earnings from FedEx and Carnival Corp, among other names.
Well, moving into earnings to watch today, Bill, why don't you tell us how they went?
KB Homes, it's ticker KBH, Kilo Boy Henry, they beat by 19 cents, but they did it on lower revenue. They said some of the deliveries for next year are going to be at the low end of the anticipated range. That's why you're seeing the stock trade down 4% this morning. And then there's Fuller Brush, that's ticker FUL, Frank Under Larry. They beat by 2 cents on higher revenue. They had some nice comments on their guidance. The stock hasn't traded this morning yet, but the beat was solid and the outlook was good. Steelcase, it's ticker SCS, Sam, Charlie Sam, they beat by 13 cents on higher revenue. They're seeing the second quarter EPS coming in between 25 cents and 30 cents. The consensus estimate was 22 cents, so that's a nice positive. Stock's up 5% this morning, so Steelcase is a nice little mover today.
How about insights as far as upcoming earning announcements?
Well, we also have, this afternoon, we have FedEx reporting after the close. EPS is for $2.36. Your expected move there is 5.25%. Progressive Software, that's ticker PRGS, Paul, Richard, Gray, Sam, their EPS is 72 cents. And you're looking for a move of almost 8% on the stock when they do release earnings. And Nike, that's ticker NKE, Nancy Kilo Edward, they're releasing Thursday after the close. EPS estimate is 50 cents. A 4.6 move is expected. They got issues in China. They're going to be highlighted in this report. So be very careful with Nike when they release their earnings this afternoon.
Moving into our economic reports, Bill, tell us what we're seeing for reports today.
Okay, at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, we have durable goods orders. We have the GDP figures. We have jobless claims, international trade in goods, retail inventories, and wholesale inventories, and corporate profits all coming out. That's a number of them all coming out at the same time. At 11 a.m., we have the Kansas City Fed Manufacturing Index being released. Also, we got a lot of Fed speak going on today. At 11 a.m., we have the New York Fed Bank President John Williams giving a speech. And at 1 o'clock, we have the two hawks, Dallas Fed Bank President Robert Kaplan and St. Louis Fed Bank President James Bullard. Those two guys will be, singing in unison about the need for interest rate hikes and stopping of the tapering right away. It may cause some temporary discomfort in the market, but they don't have the votes. And as the saying goes, you don't have the votes. So I'm not worried about any interest rate hikes in the near term.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on Eli Lilly, ticker LLY. Lilly's donanemab has received U.S. FDA's breakthrough therapy designation for treatment of Alzheimer's disease. With this designation, Biogen, ticker BIIB, has declined 3.5% in pre-market, whereas Lilly's is up 8.57%. In other news, Pfizer, ticker PFE, and BioNTech, ticker BNTX. Available lab research and data from places where the Delta strain of COVID are more viral, including countries like Israel, have shown that the company's vaccine is about 90% effective in preventing COVID-19. Did not specify the Delta strain, however, in the regions where the Delta strain is very prevalent. In other news, ST Microelectronics, ticker STM, is collaborating with Arrival, ticker ARVL, to provide semiconductor technologies and products for Arrival's vehicles, including automotive microcontrollers and power and battery management devices. STM's share price is up 1.41% in pre-market, while Arrival's is up 1.99%. News on Boston Scientific, ticker BSX. The company has exercised its option to acquire the remaining shares of Farapulse. Boston Scientific will be acquiring the remaining 73% of the company for $295 million and up to $92 million in milestones. Boston Scientific's share price is up 0.14% in pre-market. In other news, Merck, ticker MRK, and AstraZeneca, ticker AZN, have been granted conditional approval for the use of their drug Lynparza for the treatment of prostate cancer in China. AstraZeneca's share price is up 0.59% in pre-market, while Merck's is up 0.19%. Other acquisition news, Brunswick, ticker BC, is set to acquire the Norway-based marine electronics and sensors maker Navico for $1.05 billion. And lastly for me, Visa, ticker V, is set to acquire the European open banking platform Tink for $2.2 billion as part of a plan to expand beyond its card network. Visa share price is up 0.5% in pre-market. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Shane, I break my news alerts down into specific sectors. I'm looking for specific events in specific industries. When you have the news flowing into these very targeted segments, you really are able to jump on the news very quickly and obtain price action before the real price action comes in. So it's a great way to trade. I'm looking at my FANG alert this morning. There's a House committee that they approved far-reaching legislation to curb the market dominance of the tech giants. But much of that effort is really going to be facing some really intense lobbying efforts coming up. These bills still must pass the full House, and the timetable for bringing them to the floor for the final votes remains highly unclear. This bill would really be affecting Google, Facebook, Apple, and Amazon. I see Amazon, news on Amazon. I see that the Amazon Fire is going to be carrying Comcast's Peacock network. Morgan Stanley is coming out saying the concerns about Apple's iPhone S cycle is really overblown. And there's a theater going up in Los Angeles, the Apple Tower Theater, that's going to be opening today. That could be a nice showcase piece for Apple in the future. In terms of my Dow Jones 30 alert, I see Microsoft. Microsoft is having a management meeting today with Oppenheimer. Walmart, ticker WMT, Citibank is out there saying the valuation multiples are really attractive as Walmart's trading below its peers. I see JP Morgan, ticker JPM, they're telling their staff that they must be vaccinated because then they want to bring everyone back into the office. A couple option headlines to note. Really, I'm keeping an eye on these bank stocks today because there is that stress test that is happening this afternoon. Bank of America, 30-day option implied volatility is at 27, 52-week range is 24 to 55. I'm looking at Citibank. The 30-day option implied volatility is at 30, whereas in their 52-week range is 23 to 61. Looking at Wells Fargo, their 30-day option implied volatility is at 33, whereas in the 52-week range is 27 to 63. Okay, a couple of events to notice about today. Twitter's having a shareholder meeting that starts at 1 p.m. this morning, 1 p.m. this afternoon. And Rare, that says Richard Apple, Richard Edward. They're having a shareholders meeting today that starts at 11 a.m. And that's all I have for my morning update, Shane.
Well, moving into our Trade Talk picks for today, I'm picking Eli Lilly, ticker LLY, strictly off of the great news they had for their breakthrough designation for their Alzheimer's treatment. They did well when they had some news about it that came out before when it was still going through its phase trials. And this is really good news for them. So you're already seeing that it's competing with the Biogen and their Alzheimer's treatment very well. It's already in decline compared to Lilly's, which is up over 8%. It's been fluctuating between 8 and 9%. I think it's a little bit high. We could wait to see, perhaps at the open, to see if there's a little bit of a drop, some weakness. But I do expect this is going to be some news that really is positive and drives it higher today. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
I'm going with CarMax. That's ticker KMX, Kilo Michael X-Ray. Earnings are tomorrow morning. EPS estimate is for $1.63. It's priced for a 5.5% move. And, my opinion is all about the anticipation of a beat here. I would expect it to pop and drop tomorrow morning, but CarMax is my pick of the day. That's ticker KMX.
Moving into what's hot off the press, this is the news that's hitting the tape as we speak. That'll be moving the stocks today. So let's go ahead and get into it. Bill, which of the headlines we should be letting traders know about?
There's a story out on JP Morgan. JP Morgan is purchasing a stake in Kraft Analytics Groups for an undisclosed sum.
Aravive, ticker ARAV. Stock has jumped over 20% in pre-market after its phase 1 data for its AVB 500.
Foothills Exploration, that's ticker FTXP, Frank, Tom, X-Ray, Paul. They're eliminating over $1.6 million of convertible debt.
AbbVie, ticker ABBV, is exercising its right to acquire Teneo 1 and lead asset TNB 383, which is a immunotherapeutic treatment for myeloma.
Desktop Metals, that's ticker DM. They're going to be joining the Russell 2000 index when the market opens on June 28th. IRDM, Inside Richard David Michael, they just were awarded a $30 million R&D contract from the U.S. Army.
Amazon, ticker AMZN. Looks like the company, as well as Asmati Group, will be jointly filing a lawsuit against two defendants for counterfeiting their card game sets.
Ticker Jacobs, formerly known as Jacobs Engineering, wins an Air Force contract for the B-21 aircraft. It's a 5-year contract.
More news on Tesla, ticker TSLA. SpaceX might go public is the rumor, and then, of course, Tesla shareholders would benefit from this, or could. Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing today, Shane.
Same here, so that'll do it for what's hot off the press. But traders, keep in mind you can receive the same breaking stories that we do simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out for a free trial today. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Wednesday. I had Darden, ticker DRI, which opened at $135.35 and went as high as $136.48 by around 2 p.m. for a 0.83% gain before closing off just above the opening price at $135.45. So not a bad move, positive overall. How'd yours end up doing, Bill?
I did good. Progressive Software, that's ticker PRGS, Paul, Richard, Gray, Sam. Stock opened up at 45.50. Then it hit a high of 46.09. And, got a little stale after that. And we closed off at 45.53. You look at it this morning, it's at 46.35. I mean, this was easy. This was a 1% gainer, over a 1% gainer. So it was a nice trade.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.